Hi, welcome back. Today we're doing a full body integration movement flow focused on core strength and stability. It'll be about 50. Join me seated. If you need to be up a little bit because cross-legged is uncomfortable for you, you can stack a couple of yoga blocks underneath your pelvis, or you can bring your feet together in front of you in more of a butterfly shape. And you can support here either with a yoga block on each side or a couple of pillows here, okay? Just make sure you can be straight up over your pelvis with even pressure on both sitting bones, okay? And stack your dome-shaped muscles. What do I mean by that? Okay, so pelvic floor, all the muscles that keep everything on the inside. Respiratory diaphragm, okay, so pelvic floor, respiratory diaphragm, and then soft palate of the mouth, okay? So all of those key points are stacked one over the other, okay? And those muscles are responsible for your internal support structure, and they are part of your core, okay? So they're shaped like domes, so when you breathe in, pelvic floor, we can do this together, and respiratory diaphragm, release and expand kind of out to the sides a little bit. And then exhale, everything kind of comes together and lifts, okay? That means rib cage narrows, collapses down, pelvic floor lifts and pulls the pelvic bones under you and the front toward each other, okay? So again, inhale. We release everything, we release the jaw, the neck, the face, and exhale. A lot of people don't realize that just concentrated breathing is also core work, okay? So inhale, release everything. Expand all the way around yourself and underneath yourself. And exhale, internal lift, rib cage narrows, and then spine lengthens. Keep going there. Inhale, your deepest layer of abdominal tissue, your transverse abdominis, is shaped like a corset or like a Pringles can. And it expands out a little bit as your respiratory diaphragm and your pelvic floor release. Exhale, as those muscles, those dome-shaped muscles internally dome and lift, the waistline and the transverse abdominis narrows and lengthens your body, okay? So inhale, think expansion in all directions. And exhale, narrow and long. Root down through your sitting bones and think of energy spiraling through the roof of the mouth and the crown of the head. All these concepts seem really foreign to you and it's too much to think about, just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, okay? Inhale and exhale. Okay, so you have your transverse abdominis is the deepest layer of your abdominal tissue. Okay, you have your internal obliques, your external obliques, and your rectus abdominis as well, and they all work like a happy little team to help support and move you, okay? So from here, let's take a little bit of rotation. So let's bring the arms out to the sides. Take a deep breath in. Think of expanding in all directions. Now let's rotate to one side. We'll place the fingertips down on the floor and we'll gently push the floor away as we lift pelvic floor internally, spiral tall through the crown. Rib cage narrows, waistline narrows, spine lengthens. Inhale to unwind to center. And exhale, spiral tall. Now think about Barbie. Sorry if that's controversial to you, but Barbie's waistline twists, okay? But everything else is plastic and it doesn't really move. So we're not moving just from the shoulders. We're not moving the pelvis. We're moving the rib cage on top of the pelvis. Okay. And like me, you may find you have a lot more range of motion in one direction than another. And then inhale, almost find that release to center. Okay? Now let's inhale, twist, press down into the floor, maybe press down and spiral a little taller, a little further. As you exhale, all your air out, wring it out of your body. Inhale, release, just activating transverse abdominis, activating spinal stabilizers, activating some rotators, obliques. Inhale, center. Now, if it's available to you, interlace your fingers behind your head at the base of your skull. I like to keep my thumbs down the back of my neck here a little bit, and then press the back of the head into the hands. We're on our phone, we're on our computer so much. Really helps to push the head back to the hands, lengthen through the back of the neck to open through the front of the whole body and to lengthen the spine, okay? Make sure face, neck, and jaw are relaxed. Inhale here, exhale, root down through your sitting bone here as we go over to one side. So think of rooting down in the sitting bone that you're moving away from as you lengthen out and over to one side. Inhale, come up, and exhale over to your other side. There should be no tension in the neck here, and a gentle pull upward on the back of your head, and you'll gently kind of pull the head back into the hands. Inhale up, and exhale over. Okay, these first few twists and lateral bends are just to help you come into your body. Okay. See how you're moving. Come back through center. And then before we move to the floor, we're gonna just give the whole torso a little brush. Okay, your brain will respond to what you touch. Okay, so if this area tends to be a little cut off for you, you've had any abdominal surgery, you have any scarring here, it really helps to turn on the tissue. Even if you're a relatively healthy person, it totally helps. All right, so now we'll just come down onto the floor, onto our back. All right, and we'll find neutral pelvis. So tuck the tailbone under and then release it all the way forward a couple of times. Your abdominal muscles and your spinal stabilizers function optimally to support your spine and pelvis and internal organs when your pelvis is in a neutral position, okay? Neutral spine is different for every single person. Neutral pelvis we can all do together, okay? So if you place the heels of your hands on the front pelvic points and the fingertips right below the belly button, neutral pelvis is where everything is level. You are not tucked under and your pelvis is not tilted forward, okay? So again, no tuck and no release forward. It's right in the middle. Now against that, the rib cage is expanded on our in-breath and then closed in the front and pulling toward belly button. Very heavy in the back. And you might need a couple of breath cycles here to help the spine lengthen and settle into the floor, okay? Give your inner thighs a little brush, okay? They're synergists with your obliques, okay? So we need them on, okay? But they're not gripping, okay? And make sure that your glutes are not on. They are maybe 10% here. They're present because you're gently pressing your feet down into the floor, okay? Rest your arms next to your sides. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Feel the internal lift of pelvic floor. Think about front pelvic points pulling toward each other. Now tuck your tailbone under and start to peel your spine off the mat one vertebra at a time. Press firmly down through your feet. Take a deep breath in at the top. And exhale, reach the knees over the toes to create some activity in the hamstrings and roll yourself down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, release to neutral pelvis. Exhale, engage pelvic floor, tuck the tailbone under. Now for those of you who have a lot of space between your lower back and the floor, inhale and exhale in neutral pelvis. everybody has a different amount of like glute muscles and glute adiposity here. So you might have just a little bit more structural space here. If that feels uncomfortable to you, you can put a rolled up towel underneath your ribs to help support. Okay, inhale and exhale. If you've just delivered a child, if you're postpartum, sometimes the ribs flare and expand because of pregnancy. And so if you're in the postpartum phase and reintegrating into your core here, definitely put that towel underneath you and focus on pulling the ribs together in the front and down toward the belly button and making them heavy into the back. Okay, really try to keep the backs of both shoulders firmly into the mat here. And if that's unavailable to you because of chest tightness, inhale and exhale. I'll be doing another video soon on how to open the pecs, okay? And open the shoulder girdle area, okay? Deep breath in here, exhale. Float one or both legs to shelf position. If you need a pillow in between your inner thighs to help your pelvis relax, you can. Place your hands against your thighs. Gently press hands into legs, legs into hands. Keep the backs of both shoulders on the floor if you can. To take your quadriceps out of this a little bit more and put you more in your abdominals, let your heels hang to your seat. Deep breath in. Feel pelvic floor, abdominals, and everything release. Exhale, inner thighs draw together, pelvic floor lifts internally. We press hands into legs, legs into hands, and deepen the abdominals. Now, it doesn't have to be level 10 here. I'm looking for between a 30 and 70% contraction. Inhale and exhale. Engage. Inhale and exhale and change. Now, we work the core's challenge when we move arms and legs close together and then further away from each other, okay? So we'll start with just the legs. Rest the arms down next to your sides. Take one leg straight out to about 45 degrees in front of you. Inner thighs stay glued together, backs of both shoulders stay grounded. Ribs stay heavy, back of the neck stays long and unwrinkled. On your next in-breath, lower that leg 1 inch. Exhale about 30% of your air through your mouth. Feel the abdominals and pelvic floor contract and then lift it up 1 inch. Inhale, lower 1 inch. Exhale, lift it up 1 inch. Inhale, lower 1 inch. Exhale about 30% of your air. Wait for the abdominals to engage and then lift. Inhale, lower. Do not allow your glutes to help or your quads to help too much. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Exhale up. If you need that other foot on the floor, you can take it there, okay? So it would look down. Exhale, up, okay? And then bring it through center. Take the opposite side out. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Notice if side to side, one side is less challenging than the other. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Watch the shoulders, make sure they're not internally rotating. Watch the head, make sure that it's not coming off the floor. Exhale, staying grounded. Pelvis is staying neutral, it is not tucking under. Exhale, there is gentle pressure down into the arms, that's okay. Inhale and exhale. Come back and knees to shelf. Now reach the arms up to the ceiling if it's available to you. I want you to take arm furthest away from your screen to about, let's go closest to the screen, about 45-degree angle here. Not straight back, but out to the side just a little bit, making sure this shoulder blade stays pulling down and across to your opposite butt cheek as the opposite leg shoots out. Deep breath in. Exhale about 30% of your air to engage pelvic floor and abdominals, and then bring the leg and arm back. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, engage and bring it back. Inhale out. Exhale, bring it back. 2 more. Take your time. Exhale. Slower is always better. Gives the muscles more time under tension. Okay, which leads to strength and endurance. Exhale. Oh, abdominals and bring it back. Okay, and opposite side goes. Now, if you need a modification, inhale, exhale, slowly come back. Good. Inhale. Keep the opposite foot on the floor and maybe the opposite arm down here. Inhale, reach from the back of the leg and the glute, not the quad, but do make sure you straighten the leg all the way. Exhale. Quad and hamstring on that leg should be working together. Inhale out. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Now we alternate. Modification looks like this. Inhale, reach. Exhale, up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, up. Full variation is inhale, reach, leg all the way out to that distal range. Exhale, up. Inhale, reach, and exhale, up. And of course, if your arms are not available to you or holding them up for that long feels uncomfortable for any reason in your neck, just leg changes here. Inhale down, exhale 30% of your air. Exhale up. Full variation. Arm and leg away from each other. Exhale, 30% of your air. Last 70% to draw everything back to center. Inhale, reach, and exhale. Slowly in. Inhale, take your time. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale, abdominals pull you back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, slowly in. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Good. Inhale out. Strong exhalation to return. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, go. Just a few more here. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale about 30% of your air. Bring it back. Exhale. Bring it back. One more time each way. If at any time you need to stop and do a modification, that's fine. Exhale, return. Now bring both palms to the thighs one more time. Deep breath in. Strong exhalation. Spine lengthens, waistline narrows, hands and legs press toward each other. And then release. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, roll the pelvis slowly up to the ceiling. If you feel your hip flexors here a little bit, good. Okay, engage your seat, really tap. Hip flexors need strengthening because usually tight hip flexors mean they're weak. So working them here a little bit is good. Go ahead and give them a little massage. Massage into your abdominals and then heel toe your way apart through your feet. Rest your arms out in an A-frame or a goalpost, whatever feels best to you. Let's let the knees and pelvis travel to one side, cooling it down just a little bit here. Inhale, exhale, 30% of your air. Feel your abdominals engage and then bring yourself back to center. Inhale over and exhale. One more time in each direction. Exhale. Last time. And exhale. Okay, deep breath in. Heel toe your feet back toward one another. Roll to one side. Come back up to sitting. Either cross-legged or out in that butterfly shape. Okay. Press the palms firmly into the fronts of your legs. Let's reach the heart up to the ceiling, activating the back body. And then exhale, round through the spine. 2 more like that. Take your time. Inhale, heart center reaches up to the ceiling. Head is just along for the ride. Eyes are relaxed. Exhale. tuck the tailbone under, round sternum to belly button. Last time, press the hands into the legs, legs into the hands. If you're out in that butterfly shape, it looks like this. And then restack pelvic floor, respiratory diaphragm, and soft palate. Take a big reach of the arms up to the ceiling. Bring the palms together in the center of your chest and give yourself a hand. You made it. Let me know what you thought and how you fared during that series and in the comments below. And let me know if you have any other